Hello lovely people, and welcome to my channel. It's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitch, and wherever you are, I hope that you're having a glorious day. And I just wanted to share with you these flowers. These are roses from some of my standard rose bush in the garden, and I just love the way that they've got this pink and the sparkle. So yeah, it's been raining, so they've got some drops of rain on them, but these are going to get put on a vase that's going to go into our dining room table. So yeah, it's a really glorious month for it. July is glorious for roses. So let's just pop these over here. Okay, so we're here today because we've got the August issue, of which I still haven't got my hands on the German issues. There's been a lot of problems with importing stuff from Europe at the moment. So this is the English cover that we're working with. We've got the line drawings, and we're gonna go straight into it. Now, I just want to point out a huge pet peeve that I have about Burda. Much as I love Burda, I really dislike it when they do stuff like this. 197 patterns for only £7.50. The patterns, it's nowhere near 197 patterns, and it's so unnecessary, because just for the fact that this is a £7.50 magazine, and even if you get just one pattern that you like from that, it is good value when you compare the price to the big four or to indie patterns. So this is so unnecessary and incredibly misleading, and I do wish that they would stop that. Okay, so heads up, I'm just going to say straight away that this issue for me, it's kind of like a, what my husband would like to call a you can't eat steak every night kind of issue. I really struggled to actually come up with anything that was jumping out at me to say, yay, please sew me. So I then went back to look through it using the Kibi style image ID as a basis for trying to identify patterns that might work for me. So I tried to look at it more objectively in that way versus just subjectively, because there wasn't anything that really sort of like just was like, yeah, this is for me. So when I'm referencing patterns that I think would work, it's because they work within the Kibi image ID of soft gamine, which I am currently playing around in. Okay, so we've got the issue here, right? So I've had this for several days now, but it's taken me a while to sort of get to the point where I was able to pinpoint things that I could say I quite liked about it in terms of the soft gamine style. So this first top that we have here, number 102, this would fit in with my soft gamine style. So it's got the boat neckline, which I really do like, and it's tapered at the cuffs, because with the gamines, with the soft gamine, you're looking for tapering at the cuffs here. And you've got a bit of shaping with the dots. Again, didn't really stick out for me, and I think it's an interesting choice of fabric that they have used here. It's a bit shiny. Can't say I'm a big fan of shiny ones, but there you go. And then we've got this very interesting looking top over here in the Mondrian fabric. So this fabric is actually from Spoonflower, which I thought was an interesting choice of fabric, because I think it's the first time I've seen Burda using a Spoonflower fabric. But here we go. If we look at the line drawing, we've got a very interesting avant-garde futuristic kind of collar slash food guard. And you could have a lot of fun with this, I guess, if you used a more structured fabric so that this sticks out a bit more, of which it's a shame that despite the fact that this Mondrian fabric is very striking, you really kind of miss out on how that collar is working. Okay, we've got another view of that Mondrian top, but this time it's in a seated view, so quite nice. And then we've got a vest over here. I'm not a big fan of vests because I don't understand them. Maybe when I do understand them, I might consider wearing them, but yeah, to me they just seem like an unnecessary accessory. And then the other thing that I thought would suit my soft gamine lines would be these trousers number 119, and that's because they're tapered at the ankle and they show off the ankle, because the soft gamine trousers need to be tapered and always showing the ankle, and they've got the waist definition again, which is an essential look under the kibi, that particular ID. So I was like, okay, these could work for me. Am I particularly attracted to them and feel like, oh my gosh, I have to sew this? I can't say that I am, in all honesty. Okay, and then we've got this skirt here, which I do think is quite cute, because I do like skirts. I wear skirts a lot next to dresses. And I like the fact that it's got the raised waistline and it's got a slight A-line flare. And it's probably one of the few things that I quite had a little bit of a frisson of attraction to, but this doesn't fit in with my soft gamine, because under soft gamine, I need to have a bit more of a curved side seam, like it should be more tulip shaped, and A-lines are not all of that great. But I thought that this one was quite cute. And then over here, we've got a dress with that you can make a belt with, and it's a very simple and straightforward dress. Here they've tried to zhuzh it up by using a contrasting red on this panel here, but it gets lost in the graphic print. And I honestly think that if you're going to want to make this pop, then you need to do a different type of print. So here we've got this lovely geometric, colorful, sort of like herringbone, giant herringbone tree. Maybe make this a floral, a ditzy floral, or a polka dot, or just a straightforward stripe, or something like a white color, just to make it pop a bit more. As it is, it just sort of blends in. But that's just me kind of nitpicking. And then we've got a top, which is just a variation of a dress pattern that we're going to see later. And then one of their sewing lessons is actually an advanced pattern, which is really good, that Burda are looking up for the advanced seamstresses. And it is this simple coat with the giant patch pockets. I think they're definitely better coats in other issues of Burda, and so it is the featured sewing lesson, which is great if you want to make that. And then we've got a piece that's inspired by nature, but separately. Every time I see this image, I am like, what is going on here? Let's see. I mean, what is that? What is that? Honestly, it's certainly not my cup of tea. I can't say I've ever seen anybody wearing something like this in real life, so I don't know. Anyway, getting back to the thing at hand, we've got this very interesting long coat with the curved seam line, and it's made in some sort of a quilted fabric. It's got the raglan sleeves. To me, it looks like a bomber jacket, but instead of going in at the waist, we've kind of like played around with, why not make it into a tent bomber jacket? So if you want something a little bit unique, then that's great. This section didn't really jump out at me or appeal to me very much, because they've used these really earthy brownie colors, and hello, pink roses, pink background. I'm even wearing my pink cardigan. So I'm generally not a big fan of these colors. I feel like I have to work a lot harder to see beyond the color and to see if there's any potential for me. This jacket, I think that it does have potential when I look at the lines, not so much when I see it on there. And that's because it looks like it's quite sizable and comfortable to layer over things. And it does create a very smart, clean finish, because it's got snaps and it doesn't have the buttonholes. I think that some people could have a lot of fun with this, and you could always add a bend at the bottom there. So that was that one. And then we have here this oversized top with a zipper and a tab. And then you sort of like have this asymmetrical pleat that goes underneath, which you can't see it on here because they have this huge bag in front of the one defining feature that makes this different to just an ordinary fleece top hoodie. So that's a bit of a shame. And then we've got the tiered skirt, which I think this is a great wardrobe staple. And if you're going to follow a pattern, you might as well be following the Burda pattern. I've got several tiered skirts that I've made myself, and I've just drafted them myself because they are so dead easy to make. And again, it does say super easy because it is super easy. And then we've got that top again with the really funky neckline. This time it's been made in a jersey that's got a bit more substantial volume to it, a bit more structure, so we can see it creating these soft drapey curves over there. So this is the other top that I thought could be a cute one, a potential one for me to make. And that's because it's just really nice and simple. It's like a nice and simple alternative to a t-shirt, but except for it's made in a viscose. And you've just got this cute little bow detail over here, which you can perfectly omit if you wanted to, so that you just have it with like the neckline and the center seam. But opportunities to play around with the blocking, dead easy to make. It's finished with the facing, so I do think that, yeah, this would be something that I think that I could make. And I think this does a little bit fit into my soft gamine lines, because it does have the sleeveless look, and it's got a high neckline, somewhat of a high neckline. And it does look quite comfy and nice when she's wearing it with the shorts over here. And then we've got the petite, is this the petite size? No, it's actually the tall sizes, sorry, mixing them up. But it's a very simple top with just a little bit of a drawstring to it. It's been worn layered here, and I think that, you know, this would be one way of getting around the simplicity. And then we have this dress here. Now, this dress absolutely confounded me when I saw the line drawings for it, because I could not get over this neckline shape here. I mean, it's like an egg or an oval. It's not quite a scoop neckline. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it works. So on here, kind of get away with it because it's layered, so you're not really able to notice it, and there's so much going on with the fabric. But you'll see on a subsequent one why I don't like that neckline, although in theory I should love it because it's raglan sleeves, but the execution of the neckline didn't work out too well. Okay, and then we've got this other cute skirt here with the slanted patch pockets, and I do love this detail here. I love slanted patch pockets. I think that just adds something a little bit extra. Okay, and then we've got this top, this drapey top, which I think the line drawing is a little bit interesting. So ignore this. This is my printer crying out for a service. I've had this printer for 12 years now, so but yeah, it's got this sort of like drapey top, and it's been worn belted up to give it a little bit of shaping. But you know, it is what it is, and it's the sort of thing, it's a bit of a Marmite thing, isn't it? You either love that sort of style or you don't. And then this is the other featured sewing lesson, this skirt, which I think is a really good it's a good one. The sewing lessons in this one were suitable, I think, for both beginner and advanced, in terms of you could complete them with the help of the instructions. Okay, and then the must-have, the it piece, is a jumpsuit, and we've got a wide neckline here, grown-on sleeves, kimono sleeves, and sort of like a sheared waist or an elasticated waist, though you can't really see it because they've belted it over, which is probably how you would want to wear this. And this has been made in a silk jersey, of which, wow, I think silk jersey would be a very brave choice for a jumpsuit. I think you'd need something a little bit more solid, like a ponte, because I have sewn with silk jersey before. I have a silk jersey top and a skirt. Whilst I do like wearing the top a lot, it's a sleeveless top, I'm not so keen on the skirt simply because it shows up everything. The silk, it shows up everything, so I'm not necessarily sure how it would work as a thing. But beautiful execution, as usual. And then we've got a lovely looking shirt that's really funky on the back. You can't see it on this images here, but it's got a back that's got this massively pleated viscose fabric, which is quite drapey. So I think it's very interesting that it looks very formal at the front and very drapey at the bottom. Did I feel like, oh my gosh, I must have this in my wardrobe? Not quite. And then we've got another lovely variation of the tiered skirt, and this time it's been made in a viscose, so very swooshy. My tiered skirts are all made in the viscose fabric, so they're very light and drapey, and they're very fun to walk in because of all the movement. So there we've got the picture of that top, of that shirt at the front, and kind of like a really billowy blouse at the back. Yep. And then we've got this jacket, and I have to say that for me this jacket works a lot better in this fabric than it does in that other mineral brownie type fabric, and I think that here, paired with the white denim, it would look really very, very nice. So yeah, I have a jacket that I actually made which reminds me of this. Is very similar in style to this, and I love that jacket. It's made out of a tapestry polyester fabric, and I wear that a lot. So yeah, I think that's why that one catches my eye. Okay, and then this one is all about the fabric. You know, this caught my eye, and that's because I love the fabric. I love the giant print. I love the reds. I love everything about it, and that's why it works for me. It's got a boat neckline, and then we've got the cuffs over here. And this is that same top that we had at the beginning in the blue satin, but it's just been lengthened into a dress. I'm not a big fan of where it hits on here. I feel like it's just a little bit too long, like it should have just gone to the knee for this particular style. Okay, so there's that dress again that really confounded me, yeah? And you can see the neckline. It's like an oval neckline, and I don't know whether it's because I'm not used to it. It just doesn't look right to me in terms of the proportions that you have, and also with the blocking that they have done. I feel like it really highlights there's something off about that neckline for me, and especially for a jersey. I feel like this is so low. There's going to be a real struggle with trying to stabilize it to prevent it from gaping. Yeah. I'll be interested to see what people do with this in the Burda community. And then we've got that cute little top again, but this time it's been made in a stripe cotton fabric. And I think, you know, you can have fun with it. I like how they've done the stripes like this and the stripes horizontal. I do like stripe play whenever I'm sewing with stripes. So, you know, that got automatic points for me. And I can see this being a nice, smart alternative to a t-shirt, if you didn't want to wear a t-shirt. Right, and then the next thing that we have is this jumpsuit, again, which we've already covered, but this time it's been made in a jersey that I feel like is a little bit more solid than the silk jersey, a little bit more substantial, because you can see it's holding its shape, its shape a little bit better. And then over here we've got those cute little pants that would fit in with the soft gamine look, and you can see how they're tapered in at the waist and then they're tapered in at the ankle, but they've got this really cute little detail of the cuff that turn up. See, you see that? And I like this idea. And then separately, the poor model, she's having to walk around in shoes that are hips too big for her. Can you see where the heel ends? And over there. Anyway. All right, and then we've got that tall pattern again, and it's been made in a really lovely multi-floral type fabric. So it's sort of like one of those that makes it look like you've put in a lot of work to make it a patchwork, but it isn't actually a patchwork. And I've got a zipper bag tutorial, and then we've got an activewear section in the plus sizes this month, and it kicks off with this lovely looking sweatshirt that ticks all of the winter boxes for me. Giant big pockets, yes. Nice big neck to protect, nice big funnel neck to protect you from the wind. Yes, long enough to go over the leggings. Absolutely, it's fabulous, and it's got cuffs as well, just to keep everything nicely tapered in. And I think that is fantastic and great realization with the red. And I think that this is going to be a popular pattern. Very useful, very practical. We've got a simple top over here, which is got a round neck, and then it's got a mesh strip at the back that you could add if you just wanted to zhuzh it up, I suppose. And it's got a curved hem. And we've got this extra long jumper, and it's got some bust dust to add some shaping and a crew neck. And this looks like it's all made on an overlocker, so this is like really dead easy to sew, which is pretty cool. And then this coat number 128 is very interesting and fascinating because it's like a pull apart coat, because the sleeves, they come away, and it kind of really does remind me of I think that there was one time a few years ago when Beyonce did something with her Ivy Park range, and she had something similar. And I think that it could be a practical thing where you can easily take these off, but you'd always have to make sure that you have a bag to put your sleeves in. Imagine that. So like take off your sleeves. But I think that this could be something that is incredibly unique and incredibly, different, and something that you'd be very proud of having made. But I also think that it would be a once in a wardrobe type of thing. And then we've got some leggings that have some yokes over here for extra shaping. And more importantly, when you are running or doing any exercise, it's quite important to have that little pocket where you can put your keys or your phone, things that you need to have with you. And then we've got the top again, this time made in a much lighter weight jersey, and you can use this for yoga. And again, a super easy pattern. So I think that the sportswear collection in here was very useful, and especially with the windbreaker, the parka type thingy, made in these mesh fabrics and these sporting technical fabrics. And the trick with this one would be sourcing the right types of fabric, especially if you wanted something that's water resistant for when you're out and about raining. So I do think that this is a great addition in terms of activewear, which you almost get maybe once or twice a year. And then we've got some cute little baby clothes, this little wrap top. This is so cute. And the nice thing about this is they can kind of grow with it as well, since it's a tie thingy, so you can, as they widen, they can just grow in. I just thought so cute. I would have loved to make something like this for my babies when they were babies. And then we've got some cute little leggings over here and some cute little booties. Look at that. And you'd have to use your grommet thingy to actually make that. But yeah, so this is what we have with this issue. So as I said, this it's not a steak that you have every night kind of thing. That is to say that there isn't anything that really jumped out at me that made me feel like, oh my golly gosh, I must sew this, I must trace this out, and I must get this sewn out. And that's sort of okay. I don't expect every single issue of Burda to actually blow my socks off. And I think that this year we've had several issues that have blown my socks off that I've got plenty of plans for sewing with. And I'm currently in the middle of sewing a lot of really amazing things from some of the older issues, so I'm really excited about that. But only time will tell what is going to happen with this issue. I'm keen to see what's going to be happening within the Burda community, what are things other people will be sewing up, because sometimes that's where I'll get the inspiration from. Sometimes it's when I see somebody else who makes it that I realize what a banging pattern from this issue is, and I'll be like, why did I miss that? And that's always another fun part about having the Burda magazines as well. Anyway, that's it for now, lovely people. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and if you did, do give it a big thumbs up, and also let me know in the comments box. For me it wasn't a filet mignon steak, but maybe for somebody else it is. Do let me know if you love this issue. What are you going to be making in this issue? And until I see you next time, lovely people, keep smiling and happy sewing. Bye. I just recently finished this dress here. This is from 9/2014, and this is also from 9/2014, and I love it. Absolutely love it.